Hi there, gorgeous people. You've got Sammy here, and today we are going to be learning the waffle stitch. A little bit different to what you've probably seen though, because instead of working in rows, we're going to work in the round. Now, I love working in the round because if you decide that your blanket's going to be bigger than you thought, or you miscalculate the amount of yarn you're going to use because waffle is a massive yarn eater, you can kind of improvise a little bit. It's not so obvious because it just looks like another colour row in the square. Now today I am going to be working with this beautiful unicorn mandala yarn. So just looking at the tag, we see what size hook we'll need. So a 3.75 millimeter, a 5 millimeter crochet hook. We're not knitting, we're crocheting. So a 5 millimeter crochet hook, and it is a light 3 size yarn. So a little bit thinner than the Karen cakes. So I've just attached my yarn, let's fix that glare, to my hook with a slip stitch. You could always use the magic ring to start this square. Today I'm just going to do a chain of 4, slip stitching into the first to join and make a ring. Now I told you what yarn I'm using. You can use any yarn you like. I will suggest though not using a textured yarn like a fluffy chenille or anything like, or a fluttery, I think it's called flutter, anything like that. And you don't want anything that is too bulky, because while it still works up nice and quickly, the effect of the pattern is sort of lost in the larger yarn. So I probably wouldn't go anything too much higher than an Aran weight. That's my tail, or my yarn. All right, so we've made a chain of 4, slip stitched together to form a ring. Now I'm going to be working into the center of that ring. So into the center, not into a stitch. Firstly, I am going to chain 4, and that's going to count as my first double crochet and a chain 1 stitch. Now I'm going to put 3 double crochet into the ring. 1, 2, 3. If you're struggling with tension, the square is pretty forgiving. You just want to try and keep your tension consistent, whether you're a tight hooker or a loose hooker, just keep it consistent. So from my chain 4 to start, which was a double crochet and a chain 1, I've done 3 double crochet and a chain of 1. I'm going to put another 3 double crochet, into the center of that ring. Now I do try and keep my pace. I do try and keep my pace fairly moderate, but if you're struggling to keep up, just pause. When I'm doing a larger section, I'll tell you when to pause and when to turn it back on. Alright, another 3 double crochet through chain 1. I'm going to do one last set of the 3 double crochet into the ring. And chain 1. Now we started with the chain of 4, which was a double crochet and a chain 1, so we need to add another 2 double crochet onto that side. Our chain 1s are our corners. 1, 2. Now slip stitching back into that starting chain, we're going to make sure we're into the 3rd loop. So we want 1 loop left. Oops. Into 1, 2, 3. So we've got 1 loop left because that chain 1 space is our corner. Okay, so we've got 3 double crochet, a chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 and a chain 1, 3 and a chain 1. That is our first round complete. I'm going to let you pause here and finish off if you haven't as yet, and I'll meet you back here for the second round. Okay, ready for round 1. We're going to slip stitch into the chain 1 space, and we're going to do a chain of 4. 2, 3, 4. So once again that's counting as a double crochet and a chain 1 space. We're going to put another 2 double crochet into that same chain 1 space. Remembering this is our corner. And then the 3 double crochet we did on the previous round is our side. So 2 double crochet into that chain space with our chain 4. Now we're going to pop a double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. One, 2, and 3. Takes us to the next corner chain space where we're going to put in 2 double crochet, a chain 1 and another 2 double crochet into the same chain space. So our stitches are still all flat at the moment. We aren't quite adding texture yet. That will start on the next round. So working down the next side, just pull your corner stitches so you make sure you don't miss the first stitch. I'm going to let you finish out this round of double crochet, remembering our corner spaces have 2 double crochet, a chain 1 and 2 double crochet. When we get to the end, we've only got 1 double crochet because we did our chain 4. So we're going to add a second double crochet into that corner chain space and slip stitch to the 3rd loop of the chain. Alright, pause here, finish out the second round, and I will meet you back here for round 3. Okay, round 2 complete. Ready for round 3. So we're going to slip stitch into the chain 1 space, and we're going to do a chain 4, which will count as a double crochet and a chain 1. We're going to put 2 double crochet into the same chain space, they're all in that corner space. Now, instead of working into the next stitch, we're going to do a front post double crochet around the first stitch. So going from the front of our work, behind the stitch post and out the other side, we grab our yarn and pull through the loop, yarn over and complete our double crochet. But because we've worked around the post of the stitch, instead of going through it, you can see there it's sitting up nicely from our work. We're now going to pop a double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And a front post double crochet around the next. So our last stitch was into the top of that one. We're working around this one, going from the front around the back of the stitch and back to the front, yarning over to pull our yarn through behind the front post, yarning over and 2 complete our double crochet. So you can see, let's see if I can make it a little clearer. You can see that where we've done the front post double crochet there, it's pulled it forward, so these stitches look like they're sitting back. Okay, I'm going to put a double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Now sometimes you need to make sure you're not missing the next stitch because the front post can kind of sit over it. So 2 double crochet across the next 2 stitches. For the last stitch before our corner, we'll once again be doing a front post double crochet. So yarning over, going from the front of our work, behind the stitch post and out the other side, yarning over to pull through a loop and complete our double crochet. That takes us to the corner chain space. We'll be working 2 double crochet, a chain of 1 and 2 double crochet. So we finished our first side. And you can see those front post stitches sitting up. Okay, let's do the next side and then I'll let you follow the repeat to get back to the start. So our first stitch is a front post double crochet. So we go in from the front, behind the stitch, yarn over and pull through a loop, yarn over and complete our double crochet. A double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Remembering sometimes the closest stitch can be hiding behind the front post double crochet. And then we're doing another front post double crochet. So in behind the stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop, yarning over through 2, yarn over through 2. Then we've got 2 double crochet, 1 into each of the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and our last stitch might look like that one, but it's actually this one because we've put a stitch into the top, is another front post double crochet. So that takes us back to the corner where we'll be putting in 2 double crochet, a chain 1 and another 2 double crochet to get us working down the next side. I'll meet you back here once you've done the remaining 2 sides. Pop the final double crochet into the last corner and done a slip stitch into the 3rd loop of the starting chain. I will meet you back here for round 4. Worked a little bit differently. I'll see you soon. Okay, our 3rd round is done. We've got our first sets of front post double crochet in, and it's time for us to move on to round 4. Once again, I'm going to slip stitch into the chain space. I'm going to do a chain 3, so just a chain 3 this time. Then I am going to turn my work over. So I'm looking at the back of my work, and we're going to work this round on this side. So I'm going to pop a 2nd double crochet into the same chain space. So with our chain, we have 2 double crochet. I'm going to repeat this 3 times. So if you want to mark this spot so you can rewind, we're going to do a front post double crochet over the next 2 stitches. I can get them on my hoop. There we go. 1 and 2, and then we're going to work a double crochet into the next. front post double crochet around the next 2. Now, if you're struggling with the front post double crochet stitch, there is a tutorial just on front and back post double crochet. If you just have a look through the Hook, Wide and Stitches YouTube channel. So another 2 front post double crochet, and we're doing 1 normal double crochet. Then we're going to do a front post double crochet around the next 2. A normal double crochet, 2 front post double crochet, and that takes us to the next corner. So a corner will be 2 double crochet into the chain space, a chain 1, and another 2 double crochet into the same chain space. Now we're going to repeat the last 3 minutes 3 times for our remaining 3 sides, but I just wanted to flip over and show you. So our first row we were working 2 standard double crochet and then a front post. This row, working from the back, we're doing 2 front post, which is giving us this nice ridge on the front here, and then a standard double crochet which is sitting in the top of the front post from the previous row. So you can see we're getting that nice waffle texture with the stitches between sitting down nice and flat. Okay, I'll let you guys follow along for the remaining 3 sides, remembering we started with, in essence, 2 double crochet. So we just need to add another 2 at the end, chain of 1 and slip stitch into the 3rd loop of the starting chain. I'll meet you back here for round number 5. You can see all our front post double crochet sitting out on the back there. Turning over, you can see our beautiful waffle pattern starting to develop. So we're turning around to the right side again for this row. Oops. Before we do, where is this? Oh no. Turning over and slip stitching into the chain 1 space and chain 4, which will count as our first double crochet and chain 1 space, and I'm going to pop 2 double crochet into that chain space. Okay, the next part I am going to repeat all the way back to the beginning. So front post double crochet around the 2nd double crochet from the previous round. Then we're going to double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Front post double crochet around the next, and double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Front post double crochet around the 3rd, and double crochet into the next 1 and 2, front post double crochet around the 3rd, double crochet into the next 2, front post double crochet around the next. Now we're working 2 double crochet into the corner chain space. Chain of 1 and another 2 double crochet. Okay, there's our first side done. You can really see if I can get that a little better, our stitches sitting up. Now, if you go back around 3 minutes 15 seconds, you'll just be doing the first corner. Repeat that pattern all the way around, joining with a final double crochet and a slip stitch into the third loop. Now, I'm going to stop recording rows here, simply because it's just a continual repeat from here. So if you just continue repeating rows 4 and 5, increasing the amount of stitches on each side, of course, you can make a blanket as big or as small as you choose. I hope you've all enjoyed the working in the round waffle stitch today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Hook, Wide and Stitches. I'd love to hear your feedback, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the new things I have coming for everyone to learn. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Until next time, happy hooking!